Hi, my name is Nati, and today we're going to be creating our first Microsoft Power Apps application. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go to make.powerapps.com. Now for most users, you're going to have to sign in with your work Office 365 credentials. Once we've done that, we'll be navigated to this landing page over here. Now, there are three different types of Power App applications that we can build. We can build a Canvas app, which is a plain empty application, a model-driven app, which is an app based off data from a data source, and a portal, which is like a website, public or internal facing. So for today, we're going to create a simple Canvas billing application working off a SharePoint site. So we've got quite a few different options over here. We've got blank app, Dataverse, etc. This is kind of giving us a bit of a start as to how we can create our Canvas app. By creating a blank app, we'll be able to create a Canvas app from scratch. So it's going to have nothing in it. We're going to have to connect our data sources and our elements, etc. So for today's purpose, we're not going to do that. We're going to be using a SharePoint data source. It's going to connect to one of our SharePoint sites. By doing this, the app is going to automatically generate 3 base pages for us to work off. So let's connect to our SharePoint site over here. What this is going to do is going to bring up all available connections to a SharePoint site. In your situation, you may not actually have an existing connection. So we'll say new connection, and we'll scroll down to SharePoint, and we'll say connect directly. So I'm going to use my current one over here, and when we click on my connection, it's going to bring up my available SharePoint sites. We're going to be using our YouTube site over here, and we're going to be using our billing list. So if we say create, it's going to start generating the application in the backend, start building these 3 pages, etc., and going to bring us straight to the Power Apps Studio. Okay, so now that our Power Apps has generated itself, let's kind of go through exactly what we're going to see in the Microsoft Power Apps Studio. So firstly, on our center of the page, we've got our actual Canvas application. This is where we can add elements, etc. This is where we can actually do development for the app build and so forth. To the left-hand side of that is our tree view. Over here, we can see all our screens that we've got. So as I said at the beginning, because we're creating an app from an existing data source, it's going to automatically generate 3 default pages for us: our browse screen, our details screen, and our edit screen. So we can view this all over here within our tree view. And if we click on our screen, we can actually view all the elements that exist within that page itself. We've also got the ability to add these elements directly from this pane as well to the page. We can connect to additional data sources for our app to connect to multiple locations. We can upload media files such as images, videos, etc. to be used within our application. And lastly, we can monitor and run our app through stress tests as well. Now, to the right of our page is our properties option. This gives us a lot more flexibility to actually customize and build the application. So for instance, if we click on our little magnifying glass over here for search, we can see our properties pane changed a bit, giving us the option to change its color, to increase its size, etc. So let's change our background color just to red, just for now, to give us an idea of what it looks like. And there we go, you can see our magnifying glass background changed to red. In order to test your app and run it through a few scenarios, what we can do as well is click on the little play icon in the top right corner. This will give us the ability to actually run through the application's process while we are developing. So if we do that, right now we are on our browse screen. If we click on the little plus sign, it will take us through to our edit screen where we can actually input new data. So we'll call this test, make it 100. Description would be for the video. Our date, let's make it today. And then lastly, because it's a billing app, we're saying that this session was not paid for. And if we click check, we'll see that our record now populates within our browse screen. If we go and view that record, we get navigated to our details screen where we can actually view further details about the record we just created. Now, if we had a SharePoint list with many, many more columns, we can also add those columns to the details screen and see a lot more information. Over here, we've got the ability to delete the record as well as edit it. However, when we click on edit over here, what we're doing is we're still navigating to our edit screen. However, we are passing through the existing details from that record into our text input boxes, allowing us not to create a new item, but to rather patch or edit what we've just done. So to do that, let's just change this to 120 and say patch. And now we go back to our browser screen, you can see it's been changed to 120. And that kind of is the basics of creating your first application. But it's still not 100% ready just yet. We still need to publish it and share it. So in order to do that, we'll click on File, We'll click on save. If it's your first time, you'll see you have an option to name your app as well. And what will happen is once you save it, it will automatically publish it. Right now, we're going to publish over here on this side, and we're going to say publish this version. This is going to make the app available through the Power Apps site under our applications. So if we, let's just say back, it's going to take us back to our make.powerapps.com, and if we go to our app over here, we'll see there's our app, it exists there. So if we click on our application, it's going to open up in a new window and allow us to actually interact with the application straight away. And there's our record as well. Now, in addition to this, if you want to share it with colleagues, what we can do is we can say 3 little dots and share, else we can just say share from there, and we can add people over here. So let's say my wife's details in, we'll click there. You can make them a co-owner, you can make them other users, and what you need to do is make sure that these users you're sharing the app with have got access to the data sources, such as a SharePoint site. And then we'll share it, but you can't really see because I'm kind of in front of the share icon. So let's just cancel that. What will happen is it will send an email to the user as well, notifying them that they've got access to the app. And there you have it. We've created our first Power Apps application within a few minutes and a few clicks. It's really that simple. Now, granted, our app is built off a basic SharePoint list with just a few columns, etc. But think of how we can expand on that, and that's kind of where we'd like to take these videos with more content. We'd like to be able to add customers to the application without just typing in a bill with the customer's name. So we add a customer, find them, and then bill to that customer, being able to generate invoices off those billings and send them via email to the customer as a PDF. The possibilities are endless, but for now, what you need to do is find a small process within your business that you think needs a bit of work and build a basic application around it to try and simplify that process. Other than that, that's it for now. If you like this video, hit us a subscribe, hit us a follow, and stay tuned for more.